Shop smart, shop S-smart.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of New Bug Who Dis.
I'm your host, DeathMetalHero, and with me is returning friend and longtime friend of the channel, COMMI3 MARK. How you doing, brother?
Hello, salam alaikum, bitches. It's me, your man, COMMI3 MARK. You're from your neighborhood communist.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. It's good to see you. It's been a while. You know, we don't get to talk all that often, you know, you being all the way on the other side of the pond, but it's always good to hear from you. It's always good to see you in Jonestown, making little comments to annoy the piss out of Jason.
Yeah.
Who is right here in the chat, two Jonestown chatterheads, he says. And I said, two of your favorite Jonestown chatterheads. There, fixed it for you. So, yeah, but yeah, man, I'm glad that you're here. We got an interesting show that we're going to be doing today. We're going to be talking about a book, but we're also going to be talking about refunding a book, which I don't know that anybody in this scene has done. So
certainly not like this.
No.
Like so when I made my first books or whatever, like I done like a deep dive into Indiegogo campaigns, like you know, to understand the format, like the layouts, like what works, what doesn't work, all of that
right.
stuff. And you know, I tried to do that this time, but there wasn't like the source material to, you know, every failed campaign that you can go back and look at. Like, nobody like came out of it the other side, like so you know, I like to think in my big head that, you know, I'm building a way for future failures to you know, something for them to attempt to replicate, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, blazing the trail. I mean, let's be honest. You've kind of always gone your own way in this indie crowdfunding scene. You've always done your own thing. You've had your own ideas, and you've followed them through. You know, and as we were talking backstage, I mean, this refund campaign actually seems to be kind of an extension of, you know, it seems like a natural progression for how you roll, man. You know, so
yeah, it certainly feeds into the historical works and stuff that I've done. In fact, it would be fair to say that when KRISHNA KID came out, a lot of people were like, what? Like, that they didn't understand why I'd moved from being a strange meme comic kind of guy to trying to make a serious thing. Like, but, you know, this refund campaign is more on COMMI3 MARK branding than KRISHNA KID was. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, man. You're not wrong. It definitely does seem on brand for you, especially the page that you have set up for it. And we're gonna take a look at that page here shortly. Let's say a quick hi to the chat. We got some folks saying hi. Got my beautiful lady, Skull Gorgeous.
Hello.
Thank you for being here as always. She says, "Hey, Mark, how do we turn that XP shit off?" Yeah, I forgot about that. I'm gonna have to look into that because, you know, Big Brother YouTube trying to keep a close eye on everybody. It's a little creepy.
I discovered that the other day. Like, you know, I've been away, like trying to get shit done or whatever.
Right.
And I was like, what the fuck is this? My assumption is, you know, that it must be related to, you know, when someone gifts memberships and it into the 5 most people or whatever. I assume it's calculating it for that.
Well, and also it's it has to do with you know, who's talking the most. I mean, I think it's their attempt to make YouTube live streams more like Twitch. because Twitch has something like that, so you can keep track of who's talking the most and whatnot, and who's really interacting with your chat. And people like to see leaderboards. I guess they like to see themselves ranked, so maybe they'll talk more if they see their name with a number next to it. That's the only thing that I can think of so far. But I have heard that people are getting their channels kind of popped for really ridiculous things because the AI bots are watching. Hello, bots. Woodrow, what's up, brother? Good to see you. He says, "Hail, chat. Just got off work. It's 4th of July weekend. Ain't no one getting food." Yeah, I actually ran to Walmart to get some burger and some shrimp, and I got steaks thawing. So yeah, I'll be doing some grilling tomorrow. He says, "Call me Mark. Love you, bro."
Tomorrow, America will be celebrating that victory over the alien invaders in 1994 or whatever.
That is correct. Yes, and we owe it all to cousin Eddie from Christmas Vacation.
From back in the Bill Pullman administration.
Yep, it's a dark time, but we came through on the other side, man. It worked out for us, and here we are today to celebrate our Independence Day. That's right. What's up, Big Daddy Ray Ray? He says, "Hail, Luke, Mark, and chat. Good to see you, sir. Thank you for being here."
Hello.
Screaming Raven, what's up, dude? Good to see you, brother.
Hello.
Hey, Tim. Good to see you, sir. He says, "What up, DeathMetalHero and COMMI3 MARK? Welcome, sir."
Hello.
I should easily reach number 1. Let's see. Matt LaRock, what's going on, dude? I made the mistake of running out of food today on the brink of 4th. I don't want to go shopping, so managed to cobble together a pizza. Well, there you go. Sometimes cobble together pizza is all you need, man.
It's deliciously ironic that on the biggest celebration of capitalism in the calendar, none of y'all's got food.
I've got food. I went and did my due diligence and participated in capitalism. But I do see the irony and the humor that you're saying there.
My face looks fucking red on this camera. I don't know why. Well,
I think it's probably because of the red flag behind you. The camera's having difficulty distinguishing. He's Tim is getting irate in the chat. Yep. It's all right. When in doubt, rice and eggs. There you go. See, hey, you know what? As long as you got chickens, you got eggs. Take care of the chickens. You got eggs. You doing all right. But forgot the date. Nearly out of gas too. Man, Matt, you need to pay attention to the calendar, bruh. And don't forget pasta meme. There you go. Exactly. So you've been reading anything recently, man? I know that you've been wicked busy. With regular life, real life, because real life always comes first, and taking care of stuff for KRISHNA KID and planning this refund campaign. Have you been reading anything recently? Any comics that you've gotten? Any books that you've read?
Just trying to think. I think the answer is no. I've seen this might be of interest to you. I've seen some behind the scenes stuff on the new Merry Boys that's coming out. But obviously, can't talk too much about that,
right?
Because it's not mine to talk about,
right? We all know Chubb's going to do a damn fine job with that book. There's a link for you guys to sign up for it, all stitched up. It's down in the description of this video. Make sure you're signed up because Chubb is one of the best.
He's really great. Yes.
Yeah.
That sounded sarcastic, but I can't help it. In a voice
Well, I mean, that's you've got resting sarcasm voice. What are you going to do? Yeah.
I describe it as lethargic sarcasm.
That is accurate. Lethargic sarcasm. That is a good way to put it. But he is serious about Chubb being awesome. I miss talking to Chubb. He's another one of my friends over there across the pond that I don't get to talk to all that often. So but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this. I haven't been reading a whole lot recently. I did just when I was at Heroes Con, I picked up Vatican City directly from Narwhal at the show, and I've started reading number 1. My local shop just didn't get these in, so I started reading number 1, and it seems like a really fun concept. I'm not too far into it yet because I started reading, and then the grandmother needed things, and I realized that I needed to do laundry. So, I'll get to it eventually.
Yeah, so that's the thing that happened like while I was away, or like still on Twitter or whatever. Anyway, point is, what a great achievement for Noel. Like, I'm so proud of him, like for achieving that. Like, I think it's the first time that we've seen someone go from like this sort of space that we're in into professional comics, like rather than the other way around. Like, that shows a level of talent that, you know what I'm saying. No one's pulled that off. Also, congratulations to him. Like, good work.
Oh, absolutely. It's encouraging. You know, I've said before that I feel like the mainstream is always watching what the indie sphere does, because when the mainstream, and I realize, it's Dark Horse and whatnot, so it's not the big two, but that's still kind of mainstream-ish or mainstream-adjacent comics. The mainstream is always watching what the indie sphere does, because when people get burnt out on what the mainstream does, the indie sector always pushes the medium forward. This is true from back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, in the 90s especially. I mean, in the 90s, obviously, we had Image that just kind of exploded and really kind of made the indie side of comics, made people sit up and take notice, and it really kind of busted the doors open. I mean, yes, Dark Horse was doing their thing, in the late 80s, early 90s, but when Image burst on the scene, it really made people, notice the indie side more. But I mean, because of the indie boom in the 80s, we got the Ninja Turtles, the black and white indie boom, and that led into the 90s, and we got the Crow. Those are two huge IPs that, we would never have had without the indie movement pushing it forward. So, yeah, I think it's encouraging. It's fucking amazing. And, big congratulations to Narwhal for pulling it off, Not only catching Mark Millar's attention, but then diving in with both feet and doing the thing, getting it done, and people seem to be digging it. So, I mean, it's encouraging. That means there's hope for the rest of us to do something. Maybe not to that degree, but we can, like I said, encouraging that there is a light outside of, and we don't necessarily need to, be completely dependent upon crowdfunding. I don't know.
It's just that for me to see another oddball whose brain works differently, succeed, that's the representation in comics we all want.
Exactly. Let's see. Big ups to Narwhal, says Tim Olson, and Matt LaRock says the bigs are always looking for proven sellers, be it indie or whatever. Yes, that is correct. So, and it's also proof positive that if you do your thing the way you are going to do it, stick to your path, stick to the way you make your craft, the way you do your thing, it'll pay off. Do what you love and the money follows. And I feel like that's true of notoriety and recognition. So you just got to keep chipping away at it, and you either love to make comics or you don't. And that's really what it boils down to. And Narwhal loves making comics, and it paid off. With arguably one of the fucking biggest names in comics currently. And I mean, Mark is truly independent. He cut his teeth doing a bunch of stuff for 2000 AD, Marvel, DC, all that. But at the same time, he's able to tell his stories the way he wants to tell them, and nobody can tell him shit, So,
and of course, for me, like, he's a British person, so he's on my list of the 15 influential UK comic book creators that we do annually. And yeah, just all around great.
It definitely encouraging. Hopefully, hope to one day get to have a beer with Mark Millar. got to meet Narwhal. So now 1 degree of separation. Get to have a beer with Narwhal or with Mark.
I just have to pretend that Jan's Mark Millar, like squint my eyes and get drunk enough.
Right.
I can pretend.
We got a Billy Basco in the chat. He says this campaign is outrageous. I can't believe COMMI3 has done this to all his supporters. I know, absolutely, just off the wall bonkers. But if you think about it, Billy, is there anybody else that could pull off a campaign like this? I don't think so. I think this is Mark is the only person that could pull off a campaign like this in this fashion. So let's dig into the campaign, man. So what led to the formation of this campaign? I mean, obviously we're gonna take a look at the page here, and you guys can read everything. But give us the elevator pitch, if you will, for this campaign page.
The elevator pitch is simple, like that. I'm trying to make as much noise as possible to draw attention to the fact that I'm refunding everyone who backed the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that, just sending out emails isn't enough. Like,
right.
So I've got to do this whole big song and dance about it. But also the idea of doing a reverse crowdfund of the money ticking down, like that was... I'd already decided that I was going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But then when the question came of how to do it, and I had that idea, I was like, yes, like this is the way. Like,
yeah.
And that, like you said, that nobody else would be able to pull it off. Like,
mm-hmm.
It's so like COMMI3 that
yes, it is.
Like people like it. Like I'm coming. Like with my pants down, saying, "Look, I failed." Like, and I'm trying to do the best that I can, like, to resolve it.
Mm-hmm.
And people are very happy with that. Like more, like I expected a lot more outrage than there has been. Like, so it's been very rewarding to not only know that I'm doing the right thing, but every few hours someone drops another message, like saying how great I am, like, and that's really rewarding for my soul. Like, thank you to everyone who's been saying really nice things like that.
Well, you know what it is. This campaign that I'm going to bring up right now, this shows a level of self-awareness and integrity that we don't often see in this sphere, that we don't often see in crowdfunding in general. And going through the campaign page, you guys can see the exact reasons why he decided to do this. And, this proves the point that we've been trying to say this whole time, that communication and honesty go a long way with this crowd. As long as you communicate what is going on and you're honest with people, people are tremendously understanding. It's incredible the level of understanding people have as long as you communicate, as long as you are honest, as long as you show integrity and integrity to your backers, the people that supported you, the people that believed in you. So, yeah.
I
think that's...
And you're right. Like, there's a percentage of people, a small percentage, of course, who have completely, like, forgiven and said, don't even worry about, like, giving me my £28 back or whatever, like,
right.
And every one of those, like, touches me. Like, I can't believe the generosity of people. Like, it's just great.
Yeah, the crowdfunding fans are they're unique. They're awesome. They're amazing, and they really do care because they're real people. And because you are treating them like real people and communicating with them, they're reciprocating. It's always an exchange of energy, man. And you made the first step to put that goodwill, that good energy out there, and so it's coming back to you, and well deserved. Smokey the Concat says heads are gonna roll. What's up, Smokey? Tim Olson says it's actually brilliant.
Thank you.
I agree. Billy says, pants down. Now he's exposing himself to us while saying people think he's so great. Is he really laying his dick on the table figuratively and literally? Completely outrageous. Yes. And that's exactly how rumors get started, Billy. You're almost as bad as Pale Rider. Jeez.
Almost.
Almost.
So just, I haven't really had much of an opportunity to talk about like the building of the campaign. So
yeah.
I'm going to take that opportunity right now.
Do it, man. Because this page looks great. I want to point out to everybody, Indiegogo up here. Yeah. You know, just the page looks fucking fantastic. So go ahead, tell us how what you did to make this amazing thing.
Okay, so I did have a couple of goes at trying to make this work, but the modern like website builders or whatever that you can use, a Wix or a Squarespace or something like that,
right?
Like, they're supposed to be idiot proof, and it like so everything is very easy. You just drag this here, drop that there, like fill in your writing. Like we've done 90% of the work for you, but I needed something where I had complete control over the entire page, you know, so that I could do this thing of having the tiers down the side and the above the line part at the top look identical to Indiegogo.
Yeah.
And like even you see that blue bar across the top.
Yeah.
It's like that's on the real page. Like, and I rewrote my own version. Like, I think it was a battery, and it was talking about some battery campaign or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, so attention to detail. Like I copied the whole thing. It was really important.
It's impressive.
I was able to have control over the numbers, you know, because I have to manually update those.
Okay.
I was thinking originally, like, it would be cool if I could have it like on when we're touring a real campaign that we get that moment of, oh, let's refresh, like to see if it's gone up.
Right.
But I've been only updating the number after like refunds go through. I'm doing them in like batches of however many come in, like
right.
And, so I can't quite get that refresh. Or we refunded another one live because I'd have to be here, like trying to do the refund live. Like,
right.
You know, for data protection alone, like, no, I'm not even going to attempt to try and do that.
Right. But yeah, this literally looks like an Indiegogo campaign page.
Yeah.
You know, you did fantastic getting it to look like. And the tiers on the side, like, guys, seriously, hit that link in the description and go check out this page, because this looking at the tiers will make you fucking laugh. Like, it's fucking great. Again, it is done in the COMMI3 MARK way. You know, this campaign can only be done like this by COMMI3 MARK.
You know, I think you've frozen. You're back. I really labored over every single word of this campaign and the Indiegogo post. For example, right, just a sentence as simple as, I wanted to say something like, I'm really sorry to announce that the campaign is over, or unfortunately the campaign is over, or regretfully I must inform you that the campaign is over. But none of those are true, like because I don't regret that it's over. I've made the right decision. Like,
yes,
I'm not sorry because I've made the right decision. Like,
yes.
So that's one sentence that we're talking about. The campaign's like bare long. Like, it took me a long time because every single word is true. Like, you know, that was important. And then at the same time, like, whilst obviously I would like to elicit some sympathy from the readers, it's not written in a woe is me, like, kind of a way. In fact, I'm almost celebrating it. Like, not quite, I won't quite go that far, but, you know, like the tone isn't written like in a way that feels, you know, like I'm crying about it. Like,
sure. It's not a dour write-up. It's, you know, it's very lighthearted. You know, it gets the point across, but it's not like you said, it's not a woe is me. This is a very matter of fact thing that I'm telling you. And, again, guys, you need to go read this campaign because it is lighthearted. It's fun. It will make you chuckle, and it is very much Mark,
Uh-huh. This paragraph that you're on right now.
Yes.
Or this chunk rather than paragraph. It's directly like a response to the Rob Hunter update. Like, which, I was trying to replicate that to a degree in my Indiegogo update, the one that's short, like, and doesn't really give much information. Trying to, invoke the memory of Rob Hunter with that. But this is like almost a direct, like, counter to his thing. Like he was saying, oh, nobody promoted me enough. Like all the comic campaigns around the world are failing now. Like, and it's very not that. Like, and it's a sincere, like, thank you to everybody who helped me to raise that $12,000. And, also, I want to apologize to everyone, including you, who helped me to promote the book. And now I've made you look bad by not delivering it. That's a thing that I know from my experience as a promoter. Like those books that I've helped to sell, where the person's just fucked off and left, or worse than just fucking off and leaving, like going to full anti or whatever and attacking everyone on the way out. Like, so not doing that.
Well, again, the fact that you're going on a tour to promote the refund campaign shows a level of integrity that I've not seen from anybody else in the indie sector, the crowdfunding sector. It shows that you actually care about, the backers. It shows that you care about, the fact that they did support you. This is your way of saying thank you. You're not going to be able to deliver the product that you promised, so you are personally willing to refund the money to the people that want it. Again, that shows integrity. That shows that you actually care about, what you're doing in this scene. You're not just taking the money and cutting and running. You're not crying about the fact that, you don't have this or that, or can't finish it or whatever. You're literally taking responsibility for it. And that in and of itself is a rare thing in this world anymore. People don't seem to want to take responsibility.
I want to add to this point that I could have finished it. Like, I could have carried on paying for the art and carried on laboring away, like, in my 90-minute snippets that I could do.
Right.
Another 3 years or something. Like, and I wouldn't enjoy it. The people who are waiting aren't going to be happy that, it's taken 5 years or whatever to make.
Right.
So I just called it. Like, I just want it out of my life at this point. Like, that does not to say that I won't go back and revisit the idea, because it's a fucking excellent idea. Like,
it is.
But right now, I need to. I keep saying I need an amuse-bouche, like, a palate cleanser, like, to get this. I need closure for Krishna Kid.
Sure.
A taste of something different.
Right.
Maybe we can go back, like, if I can recapture that joy. And if not, I'll just write another tragedy. I'll write Duryodhana Purana 2 or whatever.
There you go. And bleed that out onto the page. Absolutely.
That's what happened with the Duryodhana Purana, the first one. Like, I wrote that because the original Krishna Kid artist, this is long before the campaign even started, like, that I had an original artist who had done like 22 pages or something, and then with a small handful left, he'd like ghosted me or whatever, and that didn't feel good.
Right.
So I put that onto the page and wrote this really like great, tragic, epic or whatever. So I could do that again. It's like a therapy or whatever.
Sure. Well, and one of the things you talk about on the page is, you know, having the weight of getting this done and it becoming more of a chore to get it done rather than something that you're excited to work on. And you know, we all have read something that, you know, it didn't really feel like the creative team was having fun doing it, you know, and that comes through. You know, and especially something as lighthearted and, you know, fun as KRISHNA KID is supposed to be, you know, you can't write something like that if you're feeling the pressure, if you're feeling like, you know, the sword of Damocles figuratively is over your head. So again, you made the right decision, man.
That's exactly right. That, you know, KRISHNA KID has this really light tone. It's like a lot of the book, you could describe it as just children playing in the woods and having fun and having a nice time. Like, and that's quite difficult to write when you're not having a nice time.
Yeah, it is. You know, it's kind of hard to get across the whole fun and lightheartedness of play when you're not having fun and you're not at play.
And then on top of that, like I sort of alluded to earlier, like this was supposed to be the first book where I stepped out of like doing these wonky meme comics or whatever into doing something serious, like that you could say, oh, that's a real comic book.
Right.
And, you know, so everything had to be perfect. And then the way that I'd structured the campaign, that it was going to be one book that I then broke down into 3 smaller books.
Right.
Eventually, like that became an issue. Like in my mind, it was like, oh, 90 pages, we'll chop it in 3. Like I've written it in chapters anyway. Like it should be pretty straightforward to do. But, you know, that meant that I was locked in to doing these 3 books. And after I decided to expand it, now it made more sense for it to be 6 books, but I'd committed to doing 3 books. So I was having to like smush 2 books together, like to make into. It was a bad idea. I should have just said chapter 1, like instead of saying the complete saga. That was
well, you know, live and learn, right? You know, try certain things and then, you know, realize, I mean, that making comics is always a learning experience, you know, no matter what, especially over here in the indie sphere, you know, and the crowdfunding scene. Like it's always a learning experience, you know, and you've learned, you know.
And so one of the other things is that in my previous books, in Best Career, obviously I was limited by the photos that were available, right? And then in Not Daredevil, I'm limited by the original artwork. So both of those books, like, you know, I have to work within like some certain lines, but then go crazy. I can push the lines, like, and that's a lot of where the fun is, like where the jokes are, like But because of those, sometimes I have to say, all right, fuck it, that will have to do. Like, there's nothing I can do. I can't like call up Charles Biro on my Ouija board and be like, you draw me another panel. Like, whereas with this, working with an artist, yeah, if I don't like something, it's just like change it. And that freedom actually, you know, stopped me from getting as far like as previously.
Right.
That makes any sense.
Choice paralysis. Yeah, no, I totally get it. You know, you don't have any parameters to work within now, and so it's kind of daunting to have that level of freedom to be able to just do whatever. You know. And
then on my previous books, like the fact that they are, I don't want to say that they're a bit shit. That's not quite what I mean. Like the formatting is a bit shit. Sometimes in Not Daredevil, because all the speech bubbles exist, whatever jokes I make have to fit inside that speech bubble. Sometimes the speech bubble's too big, sometimes it's too small. Like that, you know, you have to make it work. So sometimes like it overlaps or it doesn't take up enough space.
Right.
But those elements, like, they also add to it, like because both of those books are that you should be, as you're reading them, thinking, wow, what a like a creative, like in the shed kind of a way to make a book. Like
Right.
those rough edges, shall we say, like
Yeah.
a part of it, like
Yes.
and also in the campaigns, like it's all like a sort of total package reflective of like what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
And then the Krishna Kid book couldn't be that. Like it has to be right. Not only
Right.
because I'm trying to make this step up to being a serious comic book creator or whatever, but because there's a billion people that do not want to piss off in it. Like that it's got to
Right.
be right for them. Like
Sure.
so, you know,
You know, and you're going into, you know, myths, like mythological territory that it's not very well explored. You know, it's not been pushed forward into the cultural zeitgeist as much as, like, say, Greek mythology or Roman mythology or Norse mythology. And you know, if you're gonna bring something to the public, you know, you want to bring it correctly. You know, you want to do a good job representing it. And from talking to you, I know that you have a deep respect for the lore and the mythology that you're working with, and you want to represent it correctly. So yeah, I totally understand that, man. What's up, Brian? Good to see you, sir.
hello.
Thanks for coming to hang out, man.
It was on Brian's show. It was Brian's show that took us over the line. That's the one that we got fulfilled on.
Nice.
And my intention is to reach out to everyone whose show that I went on the first time, like to go again with this refund campaign.
Right.
Because, you know, to reach the original audiences again or whatever. Because not everybody, like, you know, I emailed every single person on the campaign and we've had like a third respond or something.
Right.
So, you know, let's continue to make some noise, like, and point people in the direction of what feels like free money, even though they're getting their money back.
Right.
Because it's, and this was another thing that was bothering me, like, that the world, in the time since we've done Krishna Kid, the world's very different, right? Like, the inflation and tariffs, like, and all of this shit is like, has a real effect on people. And there are some people who 3 years ago gave me $28 or whatever. But now that $28 could make like a real difference, like just getting it back. So, you know, that thought helped me to think, you know, this is definitely the right thing to do.
Yeah. Well, again, man, it shows that you actually care about the people that believed in you, that believed in your dream and wanted to help support your dream. You know, you want to make sure that you show them the same respect back, you know, and again, integrity. You know, integrity is in short supply these days. So the fact that you set up an entire campaign page and you're going on shows to promote the refund campaign, I mean, that's more work than most people would do to let people know that they're entitled to a refund. You know,
yeah. Like I have, without naming names, I've seen people. Okay, I will name one name because it's a positive. You know, Wenger. Like, you remember him?
I do.
He cancelled his book. He refunded everyone. So good for him. That sounded sarcastic. It's not. Like, I was being sincere. Right. But then, since then, I've seen other people whose campaigns have failed after the fact, who've said, you know, I'm gonna give everyone a refund.
Right.
I never heard about anyone getting a refund or anything. Like, you can go to Twitter and you'll see bare people saying, "Oh, I just got my COMMI3 MARK refund. Like, I spent it on this book or whatever." Like, so, you know, that was important to me to be. I was going to say to be seen to be doing it. Sounds like I'm doing it to be seen, but that's like, I want people to know, like, that it's a real thing, like,
right?
And that my hope is that this Krishna Kid won't be remembered as a failed campaign. It will be remembered as the refunded campaign. Like, I don't want to see my name, Krishna Kid, next to your Shinobi Sasquatch and Sovereign, like, and
yep, 2 books that I backed.
Like that.
Yep.
Yeah. So by doing this, my hope is that people will remember it as the campaign that refunded everyone rather than the campaign that never delivered and ran away and stole everyone's money.
Exactly. You know, and that and you leave a good taste in people's mouth. You leave a good memory in people's mind, as opposed to, you know, just disappearing and never hearing from, you know, and wondering what the fuck happened, you know, and that leaves a bad taste in people's mouth. That leaves a bad impression. And, you know, if you ever want to do comics later on, when you have the opportunity to, you know, people remember, you know, and they may not remember why that they're angry about your name and Krishna Kid or whatever, but they'll remember that they're angry about it. So again, you did the right thing, man. What's up, Pops? Says this was a breath of fresh air. Much respect, Mark. I got my refund and a couple of bonus PDFs as well. See, there you go.
Yeah, so that's a thing. We'd scroll past it a little bit. That everyone who fills out the refund request form, whether they request a full refund, a partial refund, or whatever, like they can have digital copies of any of the books from the back catalog. Like that, you know, I'll give those for free.
That's awesome.
To anyone for the inconvenience.
See, again, caring about the backers, their time, their belief in you. You know, it's, again, it shows a lot of integrity. And the memes on this page are fantastic, man. This one damn near made me spit out my coffee when I fucking saw it.
And they're all like in exactly the right place, and it like the text like just leads into them. Like this campaign is one of the pieces of writing that I'm the most proud of. Like because not only was it like hard to do, but like it's honest, and it hits all of the beats that I was trying to, and it's inside the frame of a comic book campaign. Like it was really hard, but I'm really proud of it. There's some excellent lines in there that should make people laugh. Like like I said, I'm not saying, oh, woe is me. Like my hope is that when people read it, they get to the end and they say, that's fair, like I get it, like but also to have enjoyed it, like, and laughed like along the way.
It definitely made me laugh along the way, and like I said earlier, it gets the point across. It tells exactly what's going on and why you made the decision you did, and you know, it definitely takes you on a journey, and it entertains along the way. So again, guys, hit that link in the description of the video to go check out the campaign page so you can read it yourself. Because there's a lot there, and this page will make you chuckle. You will get a kick out of this page, absolutely. And you can see all the hard work that he put into this page. And I mean, this is a lot of work for somebody to put into a refund campaign. So, you know, it shows that Mark actually cares about, you know, making sure that the people that believed in him get their respect back, you know, along with their money back.
You reminded me of two things, but I forgot one already. Oh, I remember it now. First of all, that I made this campaign in Microsoft Front Page 2003.
Oh my God.
Because it was the only like program that I could find where one side was like a publisher or a PowerPoint or something, you know, with dragging and dropping and shit. But then it would just convert into like pure HTML. Like, so that I could do it like this. Like I was saying earlier about how the modern website builders are idiot proof, so you can't do something like this.
Right.
This is where I've had to host it on NeoCities, which I never heard of until doing this, but what a great name.
Oh God, yeah.
Cities.
Well, NeoCities is part of like the indie web now. So yeah, it's kind of like GeoCities from the early 90s.
Yeah. But,
yeah.
And then what was funny with that is, so it's from 2003, right? That's a 22-year-old program, right?
Yes.
And I could only find like a free trial of it that lasted for 40 days, right? So I installed that on my computer, and when I went to open it, I'm paraphrasing, but it said, "Bullshit, is it 2025? Like you're trying to like beat the 40-day thing. Click here we can click online to confirm the date." Like that I did.
Oh no!
Whatever.
That's fucking hilarious. So the program didn't believe you. Yeah. Well, I mean, you gotta think that program was not designed to like have the date of 2025 in it. You know, probably 2013. 10 years is probably like the max amount of time that program was allotted to believe. That's fucking hilarious. Hey, what's up, Morb? Good to see you, man. Welcome, sir.
Hello.
But yeah, so made this in front page 2003, put it up on NeoCities. So doing it with old school tech, and you still managed to make it look like an Indiegogo page. That's fucking impressive, man. Seriously.
Yeah, that was a really important part, because if it didn't look like Indiegogo, then it doesn't work, does it? Like
right,
the whole joke.
Yeah. The joke kind of falls flat then, so yeah, I get it. That's fucking great, man.
Oh, and then the other thing, so this clearly took a lot of effort to do, right?
Right.
And when I announced, so I emailed a version of this, like shorter and with like, if you want to know why, click here and stuff like that. I emailed a version of this to the backers, like before doing the Indiegogo update, right? So that the people who actually backed the project could know what was going on before I'd done that like shitty update, right? But so that update was up for maybe 18 hours, something like that. And people were speculating about it, like which was good. That was my intention,
right?
When doing that, but not a few people like bit at it, not as many as I was expecting. And if I'd have left it for longer before doing the show, like, and explaining the whole business, like, more people definitely would have like come and attacked me like over it. But I couldn't like wait much longer, because if I waited too long, it would look like I'd made the campaign in response to the negative like feedback from the community or whatever. So I had to like do the update and then explain it pretty quickly afterwards. But you can see that this took me a lot fucking longer than the 18 hours in between. I went to work in that 18 hours as well, like
because as we said at the beginning, real life always comes first. So the day job comes first, taking care of the family comes first. So a lot of work went into this in that 18 hours. And obviously, I mean, if you go look at the page, and I just dropped the link here for you guys to go get your refund. But yeah, go hit that link, go check out the page, because it's fantastic. Really shows a lot of care to get the point across, and you struck the right tone with this as well. And
like that was really important. Like when I say stuff like this, it sounds really Machiavellian or whatever. But I'm being sincere, like, and honest. Like, in the campaign, there's no lies in there or anything. I'm going to repeat that now. That the tone was really important. And I've forgotten where I was going because I got so distracted, like, by prefacing it.
What's up, Paulus?
Never mind.
Morb says, if I gave him money, I don't want a refund. Keep it because I love you, bro. Mad support.
That's very kind. Everyone who backed the project has an email in their email inbox. All you have to do is reply to that. Like, I mean, I would like it if you go and read this because I'm really proud of it. Like, it was a lot of effort and stuff. But all you have to do is search in your spam folders and reply to that email. It's that simple.
To answer your question, Paulus Arts, there's that first bullet point right up there. Must be a backer of the project. But
I predicted that.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Like that I sat around. Sat around. That sounds like I'm not doing anything. Like when I'm busy doing things I'm supposed to be doing, my mind would be distracted thinking about like, if Eric July was doing this, like what angles would I come at? Like to attack him, like constantly being like, how can what I've written be reframed like by a like trying to just make it as bulletproof as possible, like and I think I've done a pretty good job of that. Like I've seen some people try to like make a drama out of it, but like it's really fucking hard. Like I think
it is the internet. People do like to drama farm for absolutely no reason, and they would have to. They'd really have to stretch with this page. Yeah,
and I am not critical of those people. I am often included in that group. Like I do that sometimes, like because I enjoy it or whatever.
Well, I mean, you do a show called Russian Troll Factory, so it shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, go take a look at the page. Oh no. This also almost made me spit out my coffee. This is just fucking hilarious. You guys, seriously, go look at the page. Go read
that
this.
Meme is the first one that I like visualized before I'd even started writing anything. That was the first like image on the campaign and everything, like because that was it. I was looking to do it with the video, but it's not quite as clear like as I had hoped.
Right.
We have this image in our mind of the Hindenburg video, but it's not what you remember it to be.
Well, yeah, it's funny when trying to use old video like that because it looks so clear in your head, but then you go in and you try to edit it and do something with it, and you quickly discover it is very grainy, and it's not nearly as clear as it looks in your head. Let's see. Paula's Art says, "I'm playing both sides so that I always come out on top." Well, there you go. That's one way to do it as well. I consider backing someone's book is like buying them a drink, which is almost the exact same cost. Have the drink, man. Love you. Keep at it. Well, there you go. See, so again, showing respect to the backers, showing the integrity to go on a campaign trail to make sure everybody knows, to make enough noise for everybody to know that you're giving people refunds. I mean, that's huge. And the fact that you spent all this time making a campaign page, not only to, give people an opportunity to get their money back, but you went through all the trouble to actually make it look like an Indiegogo page. I mean, again, it is so you that it's hilarious. It's perfect,
And like I do a good job of explaining it, I think. But it's really quite exposing. Like I remember, like as I was writing it, thinking like, is this too much? Like particularly like because at this point where you're at now, I think most people are saying, okay, that's fine, I understand. Like but then I carry on like and tell you like how that decision, like what the effects of that were that I didn't need to do. Like and does it doesn't it's more exposing than I would like, but I'm being sincere and trying to give you everyone as full a picture as I can, like and also another thing is that we learn a lot of lessons like from these failed campaigns. Like
Right.
I don't know how many times I've heard people say the money that you raise on Indiegogo isn't your money. You don't live on that. Put that in a separate account. Like use that to pay for shit as you're going. Like and then people fuck up their campaigns and we're all left like, well, what happened to the money? Why wasn't it in a separate account? Like all
Right.
of, and you know, I did all of that. Like that's how I'm able to give this campaign funds back
Right.
because I separated it, and hopefully the people will learn something like from it. I don't know what it could be yet, but you know.
I mean, how to show integrity and respect for your backers, if nothing else, you know, because that the fact that you did set up a separate account shows that you were thinking about that. You know, you weren't just trying to take that money and, you know, oh, that's suddenly your money. No, you took it and put it in a separate account, kept it separate so that you had it to fulfill the book. The campaign isn't because you weren't able to fulfill the book. This is because of a personal decision. This is because you needed to do this for you rather than, oh, I'm out of money, sorry, you're not getting your shit, you know. And that's the huge difference.
Like I've seen people on Twitter like point to this and say, oh well, why doesn't this person do that, or why doesn't that person do that? And it's like they're not in the same circumstances that I am. Like, if I wasn't, then obviously, like, it already took longer than I would like. But if I wasn't in this situation, I would just carry on. Because, like, no, you know, I'd still get it done. But that's not really possible anymore.
Right.
That Indiegogo comment, I even like done the logo as well, like as a example.
That's chef's kiss on the Indiegogo bit. If again, guys, go hit that link and you can see the logo. He even made a logo for his refund campaign. So yeah, go visit the site and have yourself a chuckle and read this and more. Your question will be answered just by going to read the page, and you know, you absolutely should go read it just because it's fucking hilarious. You know, there is a story to read on this page, and it will give you background and insight as to why he's doing this, and it should be read just because it's fucking hilarious and all the hard work that Mark put into setting up this page. You know, the memes, the story being told, it's choice. Dr. Mass says we need Indiegogo shirts now. Hey, there you go. There's an idea.
Get some dollars back that way.
Right.
Yeah, like there's none of the litany of failed campaigns are responsible for the decision. Like,
right.
Obviously, I watched all of those, like as they were happening with everyone else, and the Rob Hunter one in particular, like, was around about the same time that I was thinking about making this call.
Right.
And I wouldn't say that it solidified that I was going to do it, but I knew that it couldn't. That's not it. That's not how to do it. Like,
right.
That's the greatest example I've ever seen of how to not like do it. And also the Rob Hunter one, like I think I might even have already started the campaign page when it happened, because I remember thinking, oh, I wish it was fucking ready today, like on the day that it happened, because it would have just fucking exploded if I'd have dropped it like on top of that.
Right.
But you know, the timing didn't work out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, that the synchronicities, it's pretty crazy. And I don't know. It almost seems like the fact that you were already thinking in this direction and you were working on it already, and then that dropped. It almost seems like that's an indication that you are on the right track, that you're thinking in the right direction. You know what I mean? You know, it's like the universe saying, "Yes, Mark, this is the right thing to do." You know, confirmation, as it were.
Although also you could frame it in a way like that. I could have dropped it in any month, and it would have been close to someone like with the money.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You know, but yeah, that was a big deal, and you know it's sad that had to happen. You know, and that. But I mean, it exposed a way of thinking that I don't think is healthy for crowdfunding. You know, I don't think it's good for the integrity of the crowdfunding scene. One, I don't think it's good for the integrity of indie comics. You know, that's not how you build a rapport with your audience. And being in indie comics, like comics are a small niche. In and of themselves. Indie comics is a niche within that niche. And then crowdfunding indie comics are a niche within that niche within that niche. So it's a very small audience. And if you shit on the backers, if you act like an ass, that's going to get around. And especially if you act like an ass publicly. You know? I mean, and I had Rob on for Death Raider, you know, and I wanted to see him succeed. You know, sometimes shit just doesn't work out, you know, and I understand shit happens. Real life gets in the way. But again, getting back to the way you set this up, the research that you did, the thought that you put into setting up a separate account, and that enables you to actually do this refund. Like you said, you wouldn't be able to do this if you hadn't set up the account the way, you know, it was. I mean, we all saw what happened to Detective Dead. You know, we've seen what happened to, you know, Shinobi Sasquatch and Sovereign. You know, I know that I'm never going to get those books, you know, and I'm never going to get a refund from either of those books either. So, you know, it is what it is. Again, you're blazing a new trail, which is, you know, kind of something that you've always done. You've kind of always done your own thing and blazed a path of your own. And you're kind of setting an example of how to have integrity doing this crowdfunding thing, man. You know, showing how it can be done, how it should be done. Respect for the people that believed in you, that showed that, you know, were there to back you. So yeah, I think you've done a good job showing people that you actually care, rather than just disappearing with the money and, you know, giving nobody a refund and no books. So
yeah.
No.
It always makes me uncomfortable. Like, let's get back to hiding behind sarcasm and.
Oh shit! The shit got a little too real. So yeah, let's look at the memes. The free, is this part of the free struggle session? I mean, is that kind of what this tour is? You know, bit of a struggle session.
That struggle session is scheduled for tomorrow at 10 p.m. GMT on my channel.
All right.
Subscribe if you haven't already. But the reality is, I've been working on it today, like putting together that episode.
Mm-hmm.
Also, first of all, it was nice to do some work putting together an episode and not be thinking, oh, I should be working on the book.
Right.
Like, that's just one example.
Right.
But, you know, I was putting it together today,
Mm-hmm.
and it's probably going to end up being more of a snuggle session than a struggle session, like because everybody's just been so nice, like, and kind. Like, I mean, there have been some people trying to take shots or whatever, and we will look at them. But mostly, like, I've just been so touched, like, not in a Jimmy Savile way.
Thankfully.
Yeah, just thanks to everyone.
Yeah.
I really mean it, like, really sincerely, like, it's really great.
Well, again, man, you showed respect to the backers, integrity, and it's being returned to you, and rightly so. You know, this is how to be a professional. You know, let's see. Yes, we all know that there are multiple books and campaigns out there that may or may not be filled. It is what it is. So obviously struggle session or possibly a snuggle session tomorrow on COMMI3 MARK's channel. So make sure that you guys are subscribed. I don't think I had that link. If you want to drop the link in the private chat, I'll drop it in the chat for people. So aside from that, what does the future hold for you, my friend?
I don't really know. Like, I'm probably gonna make some kind of another meme comic. In the time since I made Not Daredevil and Best Career, I've really perfected this thumbnail style that I use now.
Right.
Like, and I'm open to the idea of doing something, in that sort of a style. But I need the idea. I'm waiting to be struck by inspiration. None of my previous books did I sit down and think like, right, what would be a good thing to do? It's just like, oh, I've had this dumb idea that no one's done before. Let's try and do that. Like, which goes back to what you were saying about blazing trails or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's all that I do. Like, I think, oh, well, no one's done this before. Let's see if that works. Like, sometimes it does, sometimes it don't. One of the best examples of that is in Best Career. So all of my books up until the Duryodhana Purana, the inside cover page is like a letter from me, the writer, editor, to you, the reader. And I always leave a space at the bottom of the letter for me to sign it. That was my answer to the question of, where do you sign the book? That's an ongoing debate. And do you want it on the cover? Like, do you want to ruin the cover or do you want to ruin the pages inside? Right. So I made a specific space to sign it that made logical sense, like inside of the whole book. But in Best Career, I made the mistake of leaving the to section blank as well. Like, so it would say to, and then I'd write DeathMetalHero and then sign COMMI3 MARK at the end.
Right.
But this is a great idea. Why has no one ever done that before? Then I learned when I was fulfilling it that because it's fucking logistical nightmare, like just sign like 300 books and then send them out or whatever. But now I have to be like, this is the DeathMetalHero book. Let's take this one through the entire process. Like, make sure that you get the right address on because I don't want to send that to the wrong person.
Right.
So if all future books after that, it says, "Dear Reader," signed COMMI3 MARK at the end because that was too much work.
Well, again, it's a learning process, man. It's always a learning process. You always learn something. I mean, learn something new every day. If you're not learning, then you're dead, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Take it easy, Feline. Thank you for being here, beautiful. Be safe. I will talk to you soon, baby. Yeah. So this is this shows a level of integrity that we don't often see in crowdfunding. So hats off to you, sir, and thank you for doing that. And I hope that we do see more meme comics from you. What I hope for you, man, I hope that, going through and doing something like that gets those fun creative juices flowing for you again. You start having fun making comics, and then you're able to jump back into Krishna Kid because as I said, in the last show that we did, I think it's important for those type of mythologies to be brought forward and put into the cultural zeitgeist to give people a taste of different mythologies because this world has some fucking amazing mythologies that don't get touched, and that is one of them. There's some incredible stuff there, and you being able to bring that forward and have fun doing it and do it with the level of quality and respect for the source material that I know that you're going for, I think is crucial. So I really do hope that you are able to get that out at some point in the future.
Yeah, me too. Like, I don't want to say that it's completely dead because like, it still needs to be done. Like, part of the reason why I decided to make Krishna Kid was because why hasn't anyone done this already? Like,
Exactly.
Such an obvious idea. Like, there's. So, you know, I just wanted to read it myself. That's
Right.
basically it. Like, and I do still want to read it. Like, I'm just not having very much fun writing it and doing it. Like, so.
Well, and making something that you would want to read yourself is one of the best reasons to make something. Going through and having to make making something just because you feel like you're obligated to make something is one of the worst reasons to make something. You know, that like I said, sort of Damocles over your head, you know, that'll come through in the writing. And, you know, that might work, like you said, for the Duryodhana Purana, but, you know, it's not going to work for Krishna Kid. You know, that you got to have that lighthearted, bouncy, fun feeling. And it's kind of hard to do that when you feel like a whip has been cracked.
First book that's got to set the tone for the entire series.
Right.
If it was 13 books in and they're like, the reader is like, oh, you can tell COMMI3 going through like a tough time. Like these pages are a bit dark, aren't they? Like, fine, that's part of like the arc of the series or whatever. But you cannot open with that. Like,
no.
The tone has to be fucking bang on. Like,
yeah, and yeah, go ahead.
We've talked about tone a lot, right?
Yeah,
and I've been thinking a lot about this, like putting this campaign together. That people say that good writing is about like telling good stories or whatever. But for me, what I enjoy the most is trying to elicit an emotional biological response in you, the reader, in it. Like particularly in the Duryodhana Purana, I love the feeling that gives people, because making people laugh is pretty easy. Like but like to make people feel things, like that's really powerful. Like, you know, I think that's what good writing is, like the power to elicit emotional and biological responses in people,
to move people, you know.
Sure, move people, that's
comedies make us laugh, but you know, it's those emotional beats, those things that pull on the heartstrings, those things that, you know, feel like an emotional gut punch sometimes, that really stick with us, that we come back to, that we think about later, you know, that have that impact. And yeah, I agree. I think that is part of good writing, is being able to elicit that visceral response from people. So
just thinking about, there's a page in the Duryodhana Purana in particular that I was just thinking about, and I almost just spoiled it, like, but it's one of like the most important pages, and it would be a spoiler to talk about it. But just thinking about it then, like, it was giving me all the feelings or whatever. Like, it's like, oh yeah, I feel bad for that dude. Like, it's, you know, it's just some lines on some paper, isn't it? But
but I mean, to be able to elicit that response with just a few lines on paper, that's good, man. You know, that's gold. That's the literary gold we're looking for. You know, that's what you want. You know, and if you're feeling that when you read it, then chances are other people are going to feel it as well. So
yeah, that's important to me, and I didn't want to just slop out a book, like, say, look, I've done it. Like, I'd rather fail spectacularly and memorably, than to deliver something that wasn't what I promised. Like, doesn't we haven't been sitting around for 3 years doing fuck all. Like, I've got so much like material, and I could easily, with what I have, cut 2 issues out very easily, maybe 3 issues, maybe with, you know, a little bit of tweaking, 3, definitely 2 easy, 3 perhaps. But they're not the books that I promised, like on the campaign. And, you know, I can't deliver something that's not what I promised. Like, we'll come back to it in the future. I'm pretty confident that will happen.
Never throw anything away, and like you said, you got at least those couple of issues, and you know, it sounds like taking some time away, taking care of the things that are pertinent to life, will, give you some perspective. You'll be able to come back and you'll be able to see things, and it'll give you a refresh. And it really does sound like you could use a refresh, just like you said, a palate cleanser, and I think it'll only go to make the book better.
I keep saying amuse bouche to like test like whether people know what that is. And
no idea.
An amuse bouche is like it's literally a palate cleanser. They bring it to you at a fancy restaurant between between your starter and your main, between courses. That's the word.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yes, okay.
Like a lime jelly kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah. And to your point, like I already feel better having just decided to do this. Like I kept describing it as like the weight had come off my shoulders. And then when I had to speak to Vinny, oh my God, like I was so scared about doing that because it's his main source of income, like doing the book. Like we've been friends for a long time. And I convinced him to come on this journey with me,
right?
And all of that stuff. And I felt so terrible about that conversation that I had to have with him. But that also went really well. Like, and he understood because he knows like more about the intricacies of my life than other people do, because we're like talking all the time and stuff. So that second weight, when that came off, it was beautiful. Then, like, I don't think I could have written this like a month ago without like, that relief of giving it up or whatever.
Oh, I can totally see that. It seems like it would have been impossible to have the lighthearted tone that the page has if you hadn't put that weight down, if you hadn't released that weight from your shoulders. And the fact that you feel better about that, you feel like a weight has been taken off of you, that to me is indicative of, yes, you made the right choice. You had to do what was best for you, man. And again, coming back to the fact that you didn't run from this. You took responsibility for it. You took, you took responsibility that this is on you, and giving people the option to get their money back. That's the way to do it. That's the way to handle it. This is a level of integrity and professionalism that I hope we see more of. Again, blazing the trail, man. I can't wait to see what you do next. Maybe another not Daredevil. Maybe some more Best Korea.
In the refund request form, there's like a question of, would you consider backing like another project in the future?
Right.
And it's over 90% yes. Like I think it's up to 3 no's now. But one of those no's was me testing that the form works, like in the beginning. So, I'm pretty hopeful. I see people saying, people who didn't back it saying that they're going to support the next thing, like because of doing this. Like, and that's really rewarding as well. The response is incredible. Like, I keep saying that I'm touched. But
I mean,
so nice. Like, especially in this sphere, which is normally quite negative,
right?
To get like such an outpouring of like positivity, like in response. Like I put some positivity out there inside my negative thing. It's just been great. Like I hoped that it would go okay. Like but I never dreamed that there would be such little like pushback. Even right up until the day when I pressed go, I was still saying like, read this for, like, I show it to some people, like trusted people, whatever. I'd be like, please, how are they gonna attack this? Like I need to like have every like objection answered like in the thing. Like I need to defang people's ability to attack me for certain things by doing it myself in the campaign. Like you know, I really put a lot of thought and effort into it.
And it shows. It shows. You know, you took away the you took away the ammunition. You know, you took away the ammunition of anybody that wanted to attack you for it. And I mean, reading the page, it really does kind of come across as bulletproof. I mean, how could anybody object to this after reading the page? It doesn't. If they have issues or whatnot, and they want to talk shit, I mean, then they're going to be reaching. You know, because there's really nothing here to attack. You know, you explain the situation, you're honest about the situation, you thoroughly explain it, and you do it with a lighthearted tone where, you know, you take the piss out of yourself, you know, and it's a lighthearted take. You know, again, so I don't see how anybody could attack you for it. So I think you did a damn fine job getting the point across and doing it with your own unique flair and style, my friend. So again, hats off to you, dude. Yeah. All right, so we've been going for about an hour and 21 minutes. Is there anything else you'd like to say about the refund campaign or anything coming in the future that you want people to pay attention to? Aside from the Snuggle Struggle session tomorrow.
Yeah. So we're already refunded over $4,000. Which is like well, that's not quite true. I should rephrase that. We've already accounted for over $4,000. That is that, you know, some people it started with a number that was around 1880, which was all the tiers that were fully fulfilled. Like those people don't get refunds. You got everything you asked for. That's not unfair.
Right.
So we started with that. So in the week, we've refunded like $3,000 almost. Like, so that's good. We're getting through it. You can see we've refunded I keep saying refunded. We've accounted for 68 backers now. Because also in this total, that includes when someone says, "Don't give me the money back," like because I'm trying to get it back to zero. Some people say, "Oh, it was $28. Just give me $20 and the PDFs or what." You know, like people are taking choices like that, and I am counting them as the full amount. Like, because the point is to get back to zero, and that every dollar has been accounted for.
Right. Yeah. So that's fucking cool, man. And again, guys, go hit the link. So you can go check out this campaign page because Mark put a lot of work into this, and it really is a fun read. You know, there's no self-pitying, there's no poor me. This is just straightforward. This is what it is. Here's the reason, and here's some jokes and memes along the way in true COMMI3 MARK fashion. So hit that link and go take a look. Again, integrity, my friend. And you got it in spades. So thank you for being a professional. And chat, you guys are fucking amazing. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. And, you know, remember.
Shop smart, shop S-Mart.